So some ants get to my coffee this morning, and they got to it pretty quick. I got up for a minute to go do something, and where are they at? Get the fuck out of here, flies. Let's see if that focus is close enough. See these little raspberry crazy ant things? They're really hard to deal with. I'd gotten rid of them before, but I just noticed a few of them here and there. So I decided to leave the coffee there, as to not disturb them. And in this jar here, I have a boric acid, and honey mixture, which is, you know, everyone says to use this to stymie off ant problems. They're supposed to take the borax honey mixture back to their hideaway, but as you can see, the ants are completely ignoring it. So, like I said, these raspberry crazy ants, I've put conventional ant poison on their mounds before, and they have moved the poison out of their way, and I've had to go to some extreme measures to get rid of them. And their mounds are really hard to find because they don't leave a they don't make a line trail like conventional ants do. They seem to just run around, and I'll notice there will be ants on the coffee, and then there won't be any for a while, and then there'll be ants on the coffee again. So it's like they kind of come back and forth in groups. But as you can see, there's no trail of ants leading anywhere, so I don't know where the mound is now. So with the borax honey deal, it's been sitting here for about an hour now. No ants had come to it, so I put some just fresh honey at the base of the jar and a line of fresh honey up into the jar to help them find it. But they're walking. I can see them. They're getting into the coffee. They're walking down this crack right here every now and then, right by the jar with the honey on the table, and they are completely ignoring it. Very, very, very strange. I set up an envelometer on my camera to time lapse these ants going to the borax and seeing how long it would take to kill them, but they're completely avoiding it. So I'm going to do a few things, and then I'll leave the envelometer running. You see, there's quite a few dead ants down inside the coffee. I know that looks funky, but that's just whipped cream that was on the top of the coffee, made a special coffee. So it's very strange. So these ants seem to prefer just going to this coffee, and then there's a bunch of dead ones inside it. But they're walking right by the honey. Not honey mixed with borax, but actual honey. So I'm going to go do some stuff, and I'm going to let my envelometer keep running and see if we can catch any ant action, and we'll come back in a little bit and see what's up. More time has passed. Okay, so more time has passed by, and you can see there are still no ants on the little bit of honey I have on the table in front of the honey borax mixture. There are still ants on the coffee cup. See, if you look down inside, and you see them moving. So there's quite a few of them now, and they're walking. You can see they'll get down like in the crack in the table right here, and just walk right by the honey. So, and there's more dead ants down in the coffee mixture at the bottom. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna remove the coffee. I thought that leaving it there, since they were, you know, obviously attracted to it, that they would find the honey right here and go to it. But apparently that situation is not working. So I'm gonna remove the coffee cup and their source of food from the equation and see if they go for the honey with that going. All right. So I removed the coffee cup about 30 or so minutes ago, right? And you can see the ants are kind of wandering around where the coffee cup was looking for it. And if you come around this side, you can see that there are none really into the honey yet. There's, I think I saw, oh wait, what's that? What's that? Is there's one stuck in it. Interesting. Okay. So looks like removing the coffee cup was the right phrase of action. So we'll wait a little while and see what happens. So a little while ago, we had ants on the honey and ants walking up the side of the jar with the honey drip. So that's pure honey dripping that I dripped down the side of the jar, and pure honey down there at the base. And we had ants there. So I took my stick with the borax and honey mixture, and I like this earlier, like so. Let me start up. And there were ants walking up and down the crack of the table. I just put a couple little drips right here and like a drip right here or so earlier, about 30, 40 minutes ago. And the ants have completely left even the raw honey. I didn't mix the borax into the raw honey. And you can see them here. I don't know if you can see with this or not. These crazy ants are so small, you have to really get macro photography to see. But I can see them with my eyes, but I can't see them on the screen here. One or two. Let me see if I can find one. Where'd that go? Okay. So there's one running down the crack of the table right now. Can't see him on the screen. They're just so dang small and fast, and they don't walk in a straight line like ants normally do. So I just saw another one running right there. But it's so weird that they just completely abandon the fresh honey source when I put the boric acid honey mix, which is supposed to be, the thing to do for ants, for regular ants. You mix up honey and boric acid and put it in a little cup somewhere. You have ant problems, and they eat it. Well, they don't eat it, or however ants do it. They take it and regurgitate it back for their queen or whatever. But these crazy ants, I've had issues with them before, putting ortho and other, so you can see some moving now. See them? Other ant killers out, and they just move it. They just take it and move it away from the mound. So trying to resort to some other deals. But the worst part is, because of the way they act, they don't have a straight line. So I don't know where their mound is. I've looked and looked and looked in the yard, and they have really small mound openings. So they're just like a little opening, and they're hard to find. So I'm going to continue my frustrations with these ants that took my coffee over this morning. Okay, so this is interesting. It seems like now, let me see here, after leaving this set for a while, when I first put out when I first put out the borax around it, all the ants left. And now they seem to have come back with a vengeance, which is kind of good, because I'm hoping that they will eventually go up into the jar and start carrying the borax back to the boric acid back to their house. But what was funny was a while back I put a lot more of this out, and it seems like there's way more ants now. See, I've just been kind of doing like this and putting this boric acid honey mix in here, and they really come out. So this is going to be interesting watching the time lapse a little bit.